basically at harvest time, well, we won.
How many farmers do you
Now we have 51. So the winery was founded by 19 farmers put together by the local priest, and they took 3 decisions that made this winery a very unique example of a high quality wine cooperative. Because in the 60s and the 50s, a lot of wine cooperatives were founded all over Europe. Anywhere you go, from Alsace
Champagne
to Sicily, you find wine cooperatives. Usually they're very big and they make decent everyday wines, not so special. There are a few exceptions. This is one. So this is a wine cooperative that competes with the leading producers, private labels of the area, and is a wine cooperative known for quality and not for quantity. The main reason is because the priest convinced or told the farmers, A, to make only Barbaresco. So we don't make anything else. No white, no sparkling, no Barbera, Dolcetto, Cabernet, Merlot. We crush only Nebbiolo grapes from Barbaresco. So 100% focus on Barbaresco production. As I told you before, Barbaresco is not an easy sell. It wasn't definitely an easy sell. Only that wine, which was not an easy sell, the only way to survive was to make it good, to excel in the production. If you make Chianti, if you make a very good Chianti, you sell it. If you make an okay Chianti, you find your way. Throw bottles, bag and box. But when you make Barbaresco only, you don't have that sector of the market. So if you want to survive in producing only Barbaresco, it's like Ferrari. If you only make Ferrari, they have to run nicer. You cannot, there's no way. So that decision was extremely difficult from a business point of view, but shaped the mindset, quality oriented, among the farmers and among the winery, which was unusual in the 60s, because the 60s were the year where quantity was more important than quality. It's only really from the 80s that the whole concept of quality, finding 100% of it. They cannot keep home some of the grapes. They cannot make their own Barbaresco. They cannot compete with the winery itself. It seems a stupid thing, but a lot of cooperatives allow that, which means that when the vintage is good, you receive very little grapes. When the vintage is bad, you receive a lot of grapes. And it also means that the farmers, they start to think not as the winery as their own winery, but just like an entity to deliver grapes. Here it's not like that. The farmers really feel like they own the company, and they bring here all their grapes, so they trust completely the winery to be successful in order for themselves to be successful. And third decision they took right from the beginning was the payment of the grapes according to the quality. Higher quality, more money per kilo of grapes. Again, a common sense these days, a revolutionary concept in the 50s. Because in the 50s, and in the 60s, and in the 70s, they paid grapes by ton, regardless of the quality. This winery always implemented a bonus, a surplus, an extra money for the better grapes, which was done by measuring the sugar level. Higher sugar, more money per kilo, and these days it's done by measuring sugar, color, and tannin. They deliver the grapes. Every single load of grape that is delivered is weighted, crushed, sample is taken, sugar, color, and tannin are measured. Those numbers are written on a receipt, together with the net weight and the farmer names. So when the farmer leaves, he leaves with a piece of paper that defines his net weight and his quality.
Are all the grapes put together, or are there different types of
different types. Different types, yeah. The quantity they can produce is fixed by law. There's a maximum quantity allowed per hectare. So if you have 1 hectare of land, you can produce 8 tons of grapes. If you have 2 hectares, 16 tons of grapes, so no more.
Why is that?
It's the law. It's done in Europe to control quantity, to define quality. You cannot, the ratio of wine is 65%. So from...
Apro un nonno.
Quello che vuoi, sì, sì.
Ne apro uno.
Sì.
Perché mi hanno chiesto.
Sì, sì, magari non l'82 che ci abbiamo la linea.
No,
sì, sì, prova, ci apro quello che vuoi. So from 1,000 kilos you can make 650 liters of wine. which is about 800 barrels, but then you take away some other reduction, let's say 700 barrels.
Could that be like a ton of grapes in there?
No, this is 75, this is 7,500, so 7,000, 1 ton is 1,000, this is 7,000. So here you have about 7,500 liters of wine. That can come 2 times, 5 times, 10 times to deliver. Then we'll have, every load will have a different, at the end of the harvest we build a scoreboard from the bottom quality to the top quality, and every single load will fit at a certain level. Last year we paid €2 per kilo up to 5.5. So they may fit at a different level of the payment. Now, the total amount of money that is available for them to be shared depends on how good the business is. Because the 51 farmers, they own the company. They are shareholders. So all the money that we make are for these grapes were probably picked October 10, so it's almost 1 month on the skins. The fermentation happens on the skins. When the wine is fermenting, there's a lot of pressure going up. So all the skins, they float on top of the tank. If you come here during full fermentation, and you look at the sections, you will have all the skins on top and the fermenting juice below. And you need to pump over, mixing juice and skins.
Where's that go, this juice?
You need to do a lot of this mixing in order to extract color, tannin, flavors from the wine. That was done in the previous week. Now this wine is completely fermented. There's no more sugar in it. It doesn't ferment anymore. So all the skins, they sunk to the bottom of the tank. There's a lot of skins that you can see. And the wine was on top. So during the fermentation, the skins float on top and the wine is fermenting below. At the end of the fermentation, it's reversed. The skins are at the bottom of the tank and the wine sits on the skins. We start the racking. What they're doing now is the racking, separating the wine from the skins. How is that done? In a full tank like this, you will have skins up to here and wine on top. You bring one of those red pipes on the top, start the pump, you pump the wine out and move the wine into an empty tank until you reach this level. So you move the wine away and then you open the door. And then you open this one. This is all skins, but of course they are full of wine. So what is here now is dropping wine. We take away the wine that's still sitting with the skins in this way, and we fill the tank until all the skins are left here. Now it's waiting, but it's still dropping. So it's like a natural dropping because those skins are full of wine, but by gravity they drop. When there will be no more dropping, it's time to take the skins out.
How's that juice taste? How does it taste now?
Well, it tastes good. You're welcome to try. Yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
It is good.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then it goes into oak?
In May. So we leave the wine here, and downstairs we have tanks like this, but bigger. These are the tanks we use for our reserve wine, more specific lots. Then downstairs we have bigger ones. We do all the selections that need to be done, like any other winery. We go through the second fermentation, malolactic, in the winter. We warm up here and go through the second fermentation, then rack one more time to clean from the sediment. And then in February we open the doors and leave the wine in the cold for a month, night and day, to have a natural cleaning of the crystals, the sedimentation, and then we rack again one more time, and finally we go into the room. So the wine making, all what needs to be done to make a wine is temperature control and moving the wine around. We cool down during fermentation and mix wine and skins. Then we warm up for the second fermentation, and then we take the wine off the sediment. And then we cool down again for cold stabilization, and then we take off the crystals. There is a Roman cone that was found down at the bottom of the valley between Barbaresco and Alba, when they were digging something. They found some of those. And Publio Elvio Pertinace ruled as a Roman emperor for 3 years, or a short period of time, in year 136 AC, after Christ.
What was his name again?
Publio Elvio Pertinax.
Could we see the bottom?
So,
The other one,
That's
that's
not
not
the one.
right.
Yeah,
It
she took
just
the
left.
other
I
one.
showed
Oh.
It has a little picture of his face from the coin.
this coin was, I think it was found at Dickett in 1960.
Yeah.
And it was from Barbaresco. It was like the most important thing that happened in Barbaresco ever. A Roman emperor. And we knew there was a Roman emperor, but they actually found the coin.
His own money.
And so my predecessor, in 1960, I think they had the idea, well, no, we are from Barbaresco, we have the label with the Barbaresco Tower, and these can actually be mistaken by some sort of prize, so let's cheat a little bit.